Happy New Year, or almost New Year. A new year means new months, and new months mean new games, and new games mean we make another one of these videos all about them. Here are January 2025's biggest game releases. Before we get into it, just the usual disclaimer that we do our very best to make these videos as informative and comprehensive as possible, but game releases have the tendency to move around and human beings have been known to make mistakes on occasion, so if anything slips through the cracks or misses the mark, please don't yell at us, we're all doing our best. On January 7th, Ys Memoire: The Oath in Felghana hits PS4, PS5, and Switch. This is a remaster of the 2005 game of the same name, which was itself a remake of Ys 3: Wanderers from Ys, which was originally released on the PC way back in 1989, but I'm sure you probably already knew that. On January 9th, if you got an Apple Vision Pro for Christmas, well, congratulations, but also you can gunk it up with Gears and Goo, a real-time tower defense mixed reality game, and if you only got a Meta Quest for Christmas, well, you can play Human Within, which is a narrative puzzle adventure game that is coming to that headset as well. On the 10th, Freedom Wars Remastered gives a former Vita exclusive a new lease on life for PS4, PS5, Switch, and PC. Then on the 15th, Aloft hits Steam, which is a cozy co-op survival game for up to 8 players, and then a day later, Donkey Kong Country returns, again, this time in HD. This was originally released on the Wii in 2010 and subsequently got ported to the 3DS in 2013, and weirdly enough to the Nvidia Shield streaming box in 2019, but only in China. Anyway, now you can play it on your Switch in its highest definition yet. If you want a platformer with less dimensions and more anger problems and backtalk, there's also Morkull: Ragast's Rage, which stars a fourth wall breaking god of death and darkness. This got a limited physical release on PS5 and Switch, but it's coming digitally to those platforms as well, plus PC and Xbox Series on the 16th. If you prefer road rage, Assetto Corsa Evo enters early access on PC. This is the latest installment in the popular Italian racing sim, and it's apparently recreated 1,600 square kilometers of the German countryside surrounding the infamous Nürburgring, which is one of the largest racetracks in the world, but you can apparently just go drive around on it. IGN co-founder Per Schneider told me about this thing at Gamescom last year, and I thought he was just messing with me. Most Americans hear about the Autobahn having stretches where there's no speed limit and they're blown away, and this blows that away completely out of the water. I was trying to find some footage of people driving on it, and I wound up watching about half of this compilation of cars getting air off of this one jump before realizing it was just gameplay from the last Assetto Corsa game running on a high-end PC with a bunch of mods. So that's a very long-winded way of saying that this is a pretty video game about automobiles. If you like pretty games that do not have realistic physics, but some historical accuracy, there's also Dynasty Warriors Origins, which will have you just whooping tons of ass across the Three Kingdoms period, as one is prone to do in the Dynasty Warriors series of Muso games that is coming to PS5, Xbox Series, and PC on the 17th. Because there weren't enough remasters of JRPGs this month, that day also sees the release of Tales of Graces F Remastered, that was originally out on Wii in 2009 before getting up-res for PS3 a few years later, and now it is on basically everything current and last gen. On the 20th, The Dark Side of Ceclon hits PC, which will have you trying to survive on a faraway planet whose name I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce. On the 22nd, the dark 2D Metroidvania action RPG Ender Magnolia: Bloom in the Mist leaves early access on PC and blooms on all the other platforms. This is a follow-up to 2021's Ender Lilies Quietus of the Nights, which dropped back in 2021. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, or maybe just 25 years ago, we got a 3D co-op beat-em-up platformer featuring everyone's favorite Jedi that appeared in The Phantom Menace, using their powers to do battle, engaging in Jedi power battles, if you will, on the PS1 and Dreamcast. And on January 23rd of this year, it is getting remastered, along with a bunch of bonus bullshit like new playable characters and some goofy cheat codes. Oh, and Mace Windu finally has a purple lightsaber, though they did keep Plo Koon's lightsaber yellow, which I appreciate. The purple lightsaber is canon, but wasn't introduced until Attack of the Clones, and Plo Koon's lightsaber was yellow, but in Attack of the Clones, George Lucas made it so that all the lightsabers were just RGB, except for Mace Windu's, which was purple. I thought that was kind of stupid. I think it's weird to have that entire Geonosian arena scene and everybody pops their lightsabers off and it's just 3 colors, which is kind of embarrassing. You can go on Amazon and buy any RGB thing and make the entire rainbow. But for whatever reason, I guess, you go to Ilum and you get the choice of one of 3 crystals for your lightsabers. I don't think that's a good system. It seems like they're trying to fix this in sort of the newer lore. But really, that one shot in Attack of the Clones, I think it's underwhelming. It would have been so cool if there's just a bunch of yellow and purple. Maybe some of the good guys could have red. I'm just throwing that out there. I just have some thoughts about lightsabers. Anyway, Jedi Power Battles. I never played this one, but it looks like a good time. Anyway, obviously I have some strong feelings about lightsabers and RGB colored things. If you somehow don't think enough games with anime people are coming out in this month, I regret to inform you that you are incorrect. On the 23rd, there's the PvPvE extraction shooter Synduality Echo of Ada. On the 25th, there's Guilty Gear Strive coming to Switch. On the 28th, there's the kawaii culinary dungeon crawler Cuisineer. And on the 30th, there is Phantom Brave The Lost Hero, which is not a remaster of a remastered game from 20 years ago, but it is the sequel to one which debuted on PS2 before getting ported to other things every 5 years, including the Switch most recently. In any case, Phantom Brave The Lost Hero will be on Switch, plus the PlayStations, and it is coming to PC at some point to be decided. There are no anime people in Marvel's Spider-Man 2, but there probably will be shortly after it comes to PC on the 30th, and people start doing all sorts of silly stuff to it with mods. This was not my favorite of Insomniac's Spider-Man games, but it was probably my second favorite video game where Venom can ride a bicycle. The first being the extremely underrated Lego Marvel superheroes. The first one. The second one sucked. They took out all of the Fox characters because Disney was doing that whole, rights embargo. The first one had all the X-Men, and it had it had Fantastic Four, had the Baxter Building, and then the second one they were like, nope, just stuff that's in the MCU, sorry. And finally, the 30th is also when Sniper Elite Resistance comes to the Xboxes, PlayStations, and PC. This is more of the same stealth action that the Sniper Elite series is known for. The community has been a bit negative on this one for how much it looks like new content for Sniper Elite 5, repackaged as a full-size game, but Sniper Elite 5 was pretty fun, so it could be worse. And to be stupid and reductive, I like to fixate on the fact that this is the series where you can shoot Nazis in the junk and it shows gruesome slow-motion X-ray shots of their testicles exploding. And if you're not supposed to fixate on that, then why do they keep putting it in the game? It seems like a pretty weird thing to put in there if you don't want people to talk about it. Anyway, these games are generally a good time, and the movement and mechanics feel a lot like Metal Gear Solid 5, but considering how good that game felt to play, that's not really a bad thing, and it's not like they're really making a ton of Metal Gear Solid games these days. So if you're like me and you're sad that we're never going to get another proper Metal Gear Solid, or you're just sad in general, go shoot some Nazis in the wiener and see how you feel after that. That is it. January 2025's biggest game releases. The year usually starts off a little bit slow, but trust me, next month will more than make up for it. It's gonna pick up with some big, huge games real fast. Keep an eye out for February's biggest games at the end of this month, and in the meantime, go check out our look ahead at some of the biggest game releases coming in 2025 as a whole. That video is pretty long, and we don't even know all the games that are coming out this year. If you need a way of keeping track of all these games that are coming out, or your pile of shame, or you just like making arbitrary lists of games, go check out the IGN playlist app. It is like Letterboxd or Goodreads, but it's just for video games. I will see you back here soon. I don't know when exactly, but soon. So keep watching the videos that we make, and maybe I'll be in them, and maybe that's good. Maybe you don't mind seeing my stupid face. But in any case, thank you for watching. Happy 2025. I will see you around.